Well, choosing Donald Trump as the next president of United States is the democratic choice of the citizens of America. And me being an Indian, a citizen of the largest democracy of the world, I should not question the choice of American people. But the habit of America to poke into other countries' business and the habit of Americans to see themselves from a higher pedestal, it becomes imminent that I and other countries also question their reckless, their arbitrary choice of choosing Donald Trump. And just after swearing in as the next president of the United States, Donald Trump signed a flurry of executive orders, and one such executive order is that I'm going to talk about today. And this new executive order, this arbitrary executive order, is about giving pardon to some 1,500 people. All these 1,500 people were charged with rioting at the Capitol Hill. The Capitol Hill in the US is the place where the US lawmakers they sit, they deliberate upon new laws, they pass new laws. Just like in India, we have the Parliament, where we have both Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha. The US Parliament is like US Congress, and they have two houses: the House of Representatives and the Senate. So it is this US Capitol where these lawmakers sit. So what happened is that in the November 2020 elections, when the then President Donald Trump lost the election, and the opposition candidate Joe Biden from Democratic Party they won the election. However, supporters of Donald Trump they were not satisfied with this election result. They were not happy with this election results, and they did not want to accept this election result. So what happened is that when the election process was being certified at the U.S. Capitol Hill, supporters of Donald Trump, instigated partly allegedly by Donald Trump through social media voices, through social media messages, these supporters they attacked the U.S. Capitol and ensuring attack, the confrontation with the security forces that were present at the US Capitol resulted in some lawmakers or many police officers being hurt. However, soon after all this ruckus was brought under control, and some 1,500 people were charged with these rioting at the Capitol Hill. But soon after Donald Trump got into White House, he signed this executive order giving pardon to all these people. Many of the lawmakers and the police officers who got hurt at that time, they are now feeling betrayed. They are saying that they are being betrayed by their country, and this would give rise to a new flurry of extremism, a new flurry of picking violence as a modus operandi to express their views. And this use of violence as a modus operandi to express their views is not just confined to United States of America. You see, just recently we witnessed a similar sort of action in South Korea. So just a few weeks ago, South Korea's then president, even he is now president, Yoon Suk Yeol, he declared martial rule. And South Korea's parliament, it was prompt and it revoked this martial rule and also suspended the president as well. Soon after, many charges against the president were filed in court. And well, one such court was deciding upon whether these charges should be sustained or dismissed. And it was decided that Mr. Yoon Suk Yeol would have to stay for longer term under detention. Then the supporters of Yoon Suk Yeol they stormed the court building. You see, in US it was the US Capitol that was stormed by the supporters of Donald Trump, but here in South Korea it was the courts that was stormed by the supporters of Yoon Suk Yeol. It shows that democratic forces are losing space and authoritarian forces are gaining space in international politics. And I think a large credit for this rise to authoritarian forces should be given to China. Why China? Because you see, when in 1991 the Soviet Union fell, and we saw that we were anticipating that now the default form of government that many countries would choose would be democracy, because the communism, the authoritarianism has failed. But in just 2 decades, in the next 2 decades, from 1991 to 2011, we saw a dramatic rise of China. China, which was a communist, which was an authoritarian country, but which showed that socialism and communism can also achieve dramatic economic development, can take out around 800 people from levels of poverty, and this was a new impetus to authoritarianism, new impetus to communism, and after that we are seeing that many countries are veering away from democratic path, and some are becoming more aligned towards Chinese system of governance. And these recent incidents in South Korea, United States, and some other countries are clearly influenced by the Chinese way of thinking, by the Chinese model of development, by the Chinese model of government. This is Anup Yadav, and if you want to know more about what is happening in international relations, what is happening around the world, then stay connected, keep subscribed.